Okay, welcome back to Heroes 3 as we continue Barren Lands, and I'm actually quite looking forward to this episode. I think we're in a really strong position to finally take the fight back to red. We have Jedi just here who has his combination of Armageddon, Black Dragon, Sorcery, Fire Magic, and 18 spell power, so that's pretty good. We are going to be going up against Zidar, who has the 27 spell power, which is really quite scary. However, he is looking like a really perfect victim for Armageddon. Pretty small army, very vulnerable to it, so that should work pretty well. And we also have Alamar just here who has the various other units, the ability to resurrect them using the now expert earth magic, and also a pretty good set of artifacts and things. So these two should interact just to pass across all of these spells and things. And Alamar probably also has some useful stuff to hand across, so Charm of Mana, that type of thing, I think can go. Ring of Life we should probably hang on to. Spirit of Oppression. Yeah, we don't need two of those regardless. I guess we can put it in the bag. And then rest of this stuff I don't think matters too much. I suppose we'll keep the Ring of Conjuring actually. Yeah, not too many artifacts to swap around, but that's fine. Okay, so Alamar, his job is going to be to go out to the west, and we are going to firstly get our spell points back, and then we are going to go after Coronius and get our revenge on him. So he's stolen our green dragons, but that's fine. We have enough forces to take him out. Let's get rid of this slow troglodyte. Then we go back to Jedi. So Jedi also could use a few more spell points, but I think he probably has just enough to make this work. Although, we have to worry about Aiden as well. So we do have to recover some spell points. Yeah, I think we go into the town, and we'll just spend a turn here. That's probably fine. Okay, so Mephala has a bit of a choice. She doesn't have too many units. We could use her just to lock down this island to grab the lighthouse, stuff like that. But we could also pick up just a basic hero in a town like this. So Jeremy comes with a cannon. He's also level 2. First time we've been offered a level 2 hero for quite some time. In fact, probably the first time. So that's quite interesting. I think maybe we buy him in this town. We'll come back to that. So Jaegar is going to claim a Pandora's box. Not sure what's in here. It is actually pretty disappointing, but can't really complain because Helm of Heavenly Enlightenment is really nice. I am going to actually also, while I remember, I'm going to swap a few things around. So I think extra gem production is more important than either of these two. And then over in this slot, I think I did have a look around at our artifact situation. We do have multiple potentially combination artifacts that we could build, but the toughest one to put together is Dima has the Vial of Lifeblood and Alamar has the other two components. So other sides of the map, pretty difficult to make that work, but I have at least temporarily got Dima's sets working again. Okay, so Jaegar I think also had a couple of sight related artifacts, so we're going to put those on. I don't think we really need luck that much. So yeah, we'll go with the Speculum and the Spyglass, just make sure we really reveal as much as possible, and then we'll get back on the ship. Malekith is not strong enough to go for this. Like, I can't see it working. I'm not sure why he's not coming to attack us. But yeah, he's got a lot of tier 6 units, all those Wyvern Monarchs, also the Cyclops Kings behind the defences of Moston just there. I can't see it working, so I'm just going to move to the west instead, and we'll see if we can find another town in that direction. So Dima is able to do some conquering. He is potentially the ideal choice to take on either purple. Well, it is purple up there actually. So purple is here. I think purple is also around here somewhere. Yeah, I think we send him up towards Christian. He should be able to take all of that stuff on. Before we do, Mephala, she might be the obvious choice to go and see what all of this is. So I might take her to the east. And then that leaves Gunnar, who is going to take on some of this stuff perhaps. So there is an island just here. We can also see there is a sawmill just there. So this could actually be the additional dungeon town we've been looking for. But yeah, let's just do a little bit of exploring. So that is extra movement points, which is kind of interesting, but we won't bother. So I do know there is the... oh, this must be a dungeon zone. We should probably go for it. I do know there is the Necromancer's Island or something on this map, and I'm not sure what's on it, but I do kind of want to go and see what it is for story reasons. Okay, so that leaves Dima, who I think needs to take on the strongest hero we can, and if we go up in this direction we could take some extra Inferno units if we want to. I don't think we are really that bothered about that though. So let's just go same direction as Mephala. Mephala will go for the easier target. Dima goes up this way. Mephala goes just to the east. This will be claimed, so I'm not going to bother. Straight to the east, Jedi stays in place, and then we are going to recruit Jeremy in this town. So Jeremy is going to, I guess, claim this. Could be useful as defenders at some point. Then we start going west. And I'm going to avoid spending too much more gold. We'll just look back at the previous turn once again to make sure there's nothing we're missing. So we still have the potential threat of... I can't remember who it was. That hero there, orange. Pretty close to our town, but we can't really recruit any further units, so... not a huge amount we can do about that. We've got Arlak if we need to, but yeah, I think we end the first turn there. So red is not really doing anything too aggressive. We'll see what Zidar does. So Zidar is coming towards us. That's very interesting. Obviously he doesn't anticipate that we have... here we go. He doesn't anticipate that we have the Armageddon spell, of course. So this is going to be tough. 7 black dragons. I can't see how we win this. We've got blind, but it lasts for 1 round. We've got 1 lightning bolt that does 35 points of damage. And we've got the ability to go for Dispel twice. That's probably going to be what we end up doing. I think we obviously have to focus down the flying units. Problem is most of his forces can damage us in some way. We're only really safe from the Minotaur Kings. So yeah, there's not a lot we can do about this. Black dragons will also get the multi-attack on us unless we fly out right now. But if we fly out right now, the Minotaur Kings are pretty much perfectly placed to get through to us. We could go for the multi-attack through these into the Minotaur Kings, but losses would be very heavy. He also does have the first aid skill. So I almost do want to go for this. I could also actually go for 2 magic arrows just to weaken this a bit. Loses at most 40% of its hit points per hit. So if we go for... oh no, this is not as clear as I'd like. If we go for magic arrow twice, it has 35 hit points left. So 35 is around 40% of 75, but it's not... my mental math is not that fast. I'm not sure if it quite works out. Still, I actually do think... no, I'm going to save my spell points. He is going to go for the multi-attack for sure. Do we just move up and go for a block? It would waste the turn of these units, but if they're going to be attacked by 7 black dragons, just wondering if we do go out just for 1 turn. We can just pull this off. This might be a mistake, but we're going to go for it. So he goes for blind on those, chooses to focus down the gold dragons. So that stack is in quite a bit of trouble. Going to wait with this stack. Okay, now this stack is going to go for this. Okay, so we can now kill it off if we want to. We can also kill it off with magic arrow instead. Not able to do full damage to anything, so I'm going to go for these before they attack us. And I think we need to come back into the town. He at least doesn't have too many spell points, so that's good. So yeah, we go defensive. This stack also goes defensive. free to attack with these once again, so the black dragons will be able to flame breath into our grand elves. So what can we do to prevent that? Nothing. This position, I guess? I'm not sure they can actually breath through these two. So if we go here, they'll breath attack through the gold dragons. I think we have to try this. We'll see. So goes for curse on those. He's already blinded them and then he wakes them back up. So really strange choices. They do become the obvious choice to absorb retaliation on these, but even so, I'm not sure if we do want to rule these, because Dendroids and Dwarves would be pretty good at doing that. We can also send them across to actually finish off the first aid tent, which is an important thing to do. But this still feels more important, and at this point we're not going to go for Dispel, so I think we kill this off with Magic Arrow. We do absorb the retaliation here. Do we go for this though? I don't think so. We can do that next round. So we attack with these, we attack with these, and we'll attack with these two. So if we move down to here, they're no longer able to breath attack into our Grand Elves. But we'll take pretty heavy damage. But yeah, I think we need to do it. Okay. Okay, so let's absorb retaliation on these. We should probably try and kill these off, but these are still the bigger threat. These just go defensive. Okay, actually breath attacks his own units. Very surprised he did that. We do still have 5 spell points we can go for, so shield gives us 15% extra defense for 1 round. Which we could use to attack the black dragons who are pretty close to death. But I think we want to make sure they can't breath attack us. So we don't want to go up to this position, we don't want to attack them from the left. 4 is probably beatable. And I think we would need to shield. But yeah, let's keep it simple for now, let's just go for the Harpy Hags. Ah, they get the morale. Still hanging on though. So we can kill these off, we can also kill off a black dragon, however we will get to kill the dragon with our towers before it next moves. These are also coming across, but yeah, let's focus these down first. So War Unicorns can hold the Minotaur Kings in place, but I think we do need to weaken those too. Okay, so we're still able to reach. Do we just go for these instead? I think we do, so that we can attack it with all our stacks. Just gotta go all out, try and get a kill on this, which we don't quite manage to do. Okay, this is now looking pretty bad. Yeah, we're not going to win this. Okay, just gotta throw out a magic arrow on something. Okay, so we do lose that town. That's a bit of a setback, but we will be able to get it back at some point. We just need to use that town gate. Or we could even perhaps make that Malekith's mission. He's not that far away from there. And he is strong enough to do it. That is one thing he could do. Okay, we'll keep following that along. The shipwreck has not been visited. We should, of course, just empty that out. Another Black Shard of the Dead Knight. Okay. That's not what he needs, is it? What's the other one? Shield of Yawning Dead. Yeah, he doesn't have the stuff. Okay. So he is going to... He could go for additional... There is a way we could do this. We could go for additional phoenixes. We go for the Firebirds here. We go southwest. We go for this hill fort. That gets us some more phoenixes. I really don't think it's worth it, though. I think we want to get this guy involved. Back in the action. And it's possible there's an extra town gate somewhere like this, but it's just not really worth exploring. I think we do explore to the south. Southeast. So we could land. Don't have too many movement points to do anything else. So if we land here, we can go for the Altar of Sacrifice, get rid of some units. Some experience. But no, I think we just continue to sail. Okay, then back to Jedi. We are indeed probably about to be attacked by Zidar. We should perhaps stay where we are, though. I'd be tempted to actually buy a Silver Pegasus. One annoying thing about losing this town is it does lose us 10% interest going into next week, so that would have been an extra 6,000 gold. Kinda sucks. Okay, Jedi goes up to this. Afala will go into the unexplored section. Fire shield. See what that is. Now Gunnar can land. He does have a pretty good force, and we have taken out most of Blue's best heroes, so this should be okay to do. Flying units as well. I assume we can get through that gap. We don't really have enough movement points to try anything else. Yep, so there is Blue's capital, pretty weakly defended, so Gunnar at last will get to be involved in the action. I think Jedi does want to go to the Mileto Tower. The alternative is we stay in the town and we get some Silver Pegasi or something, make his spellcasting more expensive, but the idea is we end the next fight in 2 rounds, so... Just gonna go Fairy Ring and gonna grab that extra defense, and we could also actually grab just a few 1-stack fodders. They might actually resist the Armageddon. Can't see them being useful, but you never know. Okay, so Elamar goes for this, and we are going to go to this at the start of next week for the additional movement points. That pretty much corners Coronius. Then Jeremy goes to the west. I should perhaps go to this. We'll wait here for a turn, that's fine. So we're still going to get 20% interest, therefore let's do a little bit of trading. Lock in as much interest as possible. We probably don't even need the sulfur. One thing we could do is at last go for the Maelstrom over here. So in order to do that, we need to actually buy back some of that wood. That's fine. It's day 7, so I think we lock it in. It's going to grow by 3 per week. Okay, we'll end the turn there. So Coronius is indeed trying to escape from us. This hero is also retreating. This hero is actually potentially going to go for our tower town. Zidar does come to attack, but doesn't know what we can do to him. So go straight in for that. We are going to go straight for our Armageddon. So 825 points of damage. I'm not actually sure where he got the Titans, but he's split them into 2 stacks. Oh, of course, the town in the southeast. Oh, he does have Earth Elementals, though. So that could change things. Oh, that could really change things. But we can do this 7 times. Immune to Armageddon. That is pretty much the worst thing that could have happened. We still go for at least 1 more though. Yeah, not worried about those demons. 3 dwarves did survive, I didn't even spot that. Not sure what we do with them, but we'll keep them around. Okay, so able to go for an attack, we can kill off 25 to 32 of these. We should probably also kill these off before the start of the next round, because they will be able to attack us. So yeah, I think we just go for this. Deprive them of their move, go for another Armageddon, which kills off most of the rest of their stacks, and now it is just this stack of Earth Elementals, really. He's going for another one of those. I think we want them grouped together. He's going to keep going for that. I think we have enough gold to surrender if we need to. We can only summon 36 at a time. Dispel doesn't work. I wish it did. What can we actually do to these? What are they vulnerable to? So they are vulnerable to Meteor Shower. So if we can get them to bunch up... Yeah, it doesn't quite work like that. So Meteor Shower, 605 points of damage. We can do it several times. Just gotta wait. He's gonna keep going for it. So in this case, we can go for the Meteor Shower on these 2. We'll see how much that does. So it does do quite a nice amount. I think we probably will be forced to brawl. Yeah, we do take a loss. Can I actually kill these off fast enough? Just trying to think, do we let them bunch up? Because our spell points are a precious commodity. We want to be probably hitting all 3 at once. What else could we do? So stuff like shield won't work. The other spells, so Fire Elemental just won't bring us enough. Blind won't work. Yeah, I don't think there's much else we can do. I'm gonna try waiting. Yeah, he's just gonna keep going for that. Oh, this is tough. Because he's gradually weakening our dragons too. We can only hit 1 of them here. How could we do this? Is there a world in which we let him spend all of his spell points and then just really have them bunch up and get a ton of efficiency out of, what is it, 6 casts? 6 casts just doesn't seem like enough. I don't know if this is a mistake, but I just don't think we can kill them off fast enough if we don't have him waste his spell points. Do we go for Meteor Shower here? We can also go for things like Mass Slow once he has spent all of his spell points. But it's not really that much. It's not really that useful. quicksand, I mean, it only costs 6. I really thought we could just swoop in and kill him. I mean, we kind of can. If we surrender now, he has no units left, and he also effectively loses. How much would that cost us? 32,000. Not even that much. Feels a little bit cheesy, but it's a legit strat. I will go for a meteor shower here. Ah, they get the luck, so they kill one of us off with that. Starting to bunch up a little bit. Yeah, this is not the way I expected this fight to go. Let's just see what we can do. Oh, what a terrible location for that to happen in. This is just an unbelievable number of elementals. Is he going to hit a cap? I'm sure there is a cap. It's difficult to avoid them as well. But I think there's a space. Ah, perhaps not. Gotta be this space here, I think. So we can also go for the double flight, which would involve... So, we can't attack through these 2 stacks, because the stack of 52 is the only really obvious one to go for. So I think we kind of have to go for this instead. And we still take another loss. And then these can reach us regardless, so it doesn't really work. Just gonna try this. It goes for the shield, yeah, so I guess he's got the max amount. How do we work with this? So we can hit 3 stacks at once. We do now have the spell point advantage. I think we need to go for more than 3 though. 29 kills. He can still go for this one more time as well if he needs to. I just really don't want to go for the surrender strategy. If we can do this another way, it'll be a lot more satisfying. Is 3 at once enough? So we're going to be able to go for it 5 more times. And then we can't go for slow. It costs too much. But magic arrow does work. What else can we do for 4? So magic arrow, the only option from that. Yeah, so 1 magic arrow and 5 meteor showers. Nothing else works. Let's see, actually. So he might start going for stuff like mass haste, but if he does, we just have to go for the slow. Oh, he's still going for more summons, so he does still have more. But that's the last one he can go for. So this has already cost us half our dragons. How many can we get there? 3. Yep, still just 3. Goes for the stone skin, that's fine, that doesn't protect him from our spellcasting. Ooh, goes for the teleport, and he's got water magic, of course he has. Are we able to get a 4 yet? Oh wow, I got a misclick. I don't even know how that happened. And he's gonna keep teleporting them too. I can't believe I misclicked. I've never done that in my entire life with Meteor Shower, and it happened in this battle. Yeah, and he can do it one more time with the teleport. But that doesn't kill us. We'll just see how far we can get with what we have. So that's looking pretty nice. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get much better than 5 at once. Have to avoid the rest. So he's still got his teleport, but he's not going for it now. Ah, he does. I think 5 at once is the gold standard. We have to keep trying going for that. And then we win fair and square. They can't get morale as well. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think that is just 5. So the smaller stacks, so we don't want to go for the stack of 22, but I think that is one of the ones we have to go for. Yeah. Okay, let's just do it. Ah, we can only go for it twice more. That's another 5 though. Ah, one of them's a 1 stack though. Okay, that's unfortunate. So we've got 1 more left to go, and there are 5 stacks in total. And if he does flee, he's still out. So there's a stack of 5 just there. Don't have to worry about those. It's just the other 4. Need them all together. I don't think that quite works. No. So we have 200 hit points left. I think we just let the stack of 5 hit us. They do quite a lot. We don't have the best combat stats. So we need these guys to not have the easiest path to us. I think we just have to see what happens when we bring obstacles back in. So if we did have to brawl, stack of 45 is beatable. Yeah, I know there's a way to do this. I really do want to try and get all 4 at once. Just can't think what the best way is to clump them up. That's pretty close. Try this. Ah, so close. Breath attack also is a useful thing to go for, of course. Do we just go for it just to save time? If I hadn't accidentally misclicked, this would be actually looking really quite good. So we'll take probably a couple of extra losses to the dragons. We can also go for the slow. No, we can't. We cannot go for the slow. Do not go for the slow. I'm just gonna let what happens happen. I really do want all 4. Come on. No, still not quite. But we can do a really nice amount with that. And then we can breath attack through the 45. I'm getting impatient, I'm just gonna do that. And then actually we shouldn't breath attack at all. So their spells have worn off. So I think they're just a little bit too fast for us to really go for a wait on. I'll try this. Might just be a few too many of them. Yeah, we've got the 15 speed, it's not quite enough to get the whole way across the field. So we should magic arrow a stack of 52. And we can still try and split them, so they can't help each other. I'm just going to go for this. And see how this would be extremely winnable if I could redo it. The other thing we want to do, if possible, is to isolate them, but I think at 5 speed, just a little bit too difficult. Okay, finally managed to secure a wait turn. Let's see where they land. So, I don't know if the breath attack works in this direction. It should. I'm gonna go for it. Yep, so it does work. Okay, now to repeat the process multiple times. Okay, that's another one, so we wait again. Hope that they clump up. No, no luck. But we can go for the stack of 15, which is maybe going to get a kill in response, but I think we should just about survive it. So I'm just going to, out of impatience, I will go for it, as we do just about hang on. Yeah, they're managing to avoid clumping together. I think the only way to get them to do so is to mess around with these obstacles. Yeah, they're not falling for it. So I can just go for an attack here. But I'll try waiting still. Because now I have the initiative. And it takes a while to get that. But once we have it, just have to pick our moment. Oh, they can reach there. Well, that's annoying. Yeah, there's a lot to keep an eye on, unfortunately. Takes so long just to force one mistake out of them, and then you kind of have to go for it when you get it. And that's how we win this. Okay, that's another mistake, but because we're a 2-hex unit, the stack of 27 is blocking us from attacking through the stack of 18. So the option is still there to attack through 42, but I mean, it's just not as comfortable as it should be right now, and it's just not the right move, so I'm gonna edit most of this out, but it's taking a long time. I know there's an optimum way to do it at this point, but it's just finding those moments. It's gonna be a long recording, but I want to do this right. Okay, opportunity to attack through 27 into 18. So this is not quite optimal, but I think it's good enough. We do take an additional loss though. What an annoying position for them to go into. I can't attack through the stack of 9 into the 42, which is the first opportunity I've had to do this in a very long time, but it's not going to work because of the bones just there. So this type of thing is causing a lot of tedium, and then they just refuse to group back together after that. Okay, we got it at last. So stack of 9 just there, stack of 42 there. So let's attack through these into the other stack. We don't take too much damage in response, and the cycle resets once again. Okay, we can attack through 17 into 35. The gold standard, though, would of course be attacking through the stack of 2. And I think I'm willing to wait for that. There we go, stack of 2. We attack through those into the stack of 17. And now there are just 2 stacks left to go. Okay, we got the clump. So we attack through these. Nice amount of damage done, and there are still 2 left, so it's still the safest option to repeat that whole process once again. There it is. So we attack through the 2 into the 27, and now we could brawl. Yeah, I think we should be able to prevent further losses. So we go for this, and Jaegar flees. So we do lose 15 black dragons after a nearly 200 round battle. But we beat him fair and square, so he flees, but he has no actual units, so I believe that should be him defeated. I'm kind of curious about basic offense, but I also really want logistics and pathfinding. I'm going to go for fire magic for now. I'm going to go for advanced sorcery, of course, and that was pretty rough. We do still have 5 black dragons we can work with, but that was tough, and they're now coming for our stronghold town too. Okay, so there's a lot going on. Oh, and we get the month of the plague. Very unexpected. Good thing I don't think we were planning to go for a big turn this turn. But yeah, that's a problem for us. So I'm going to follow this just towards our town. I think that's fine. So it is a problem for this town, for sure, because this is now unable to defend itself. It did have a few units in it, but not enough to hold off Malcolm. I think we have to buy pretty much all of this stuff and just hope for the best. So Arlak is back. I think we do buy him. But yeah, Month of the Plague. I was hoping this... Maybe a little bit optimistic, but I was hoping we might even be able to win this month. But I'm now not so confident. Okay, we're going to go into the Gloom, into the Fog of War. Grab this, I guess, and then there's not really too much to do. There is the Cape of Velocity just there, which is pretty useful, but I think the main thing we want to do is just beeline ourselves towards our castle gates. So Jedi is now no longer necessarily strong enough to take a lot of fights. I do, of course, want to find a magic well if I can. We do have Coronius just there, but we should be able to chase him down using Alamar. So we go to this. Do we go to this too? Is that the faster way? Yeah, that should actually allow us to reach. I do want to take this back because gold dragons actually are also immune to Armageddon. So they would be a good pick. But this fight is going to be for Alamar to do. Let's spread these out. Let's go for it. So not too many losses expected. Let's get our revenge on this guy. So we do have options such as Implosion, which would work really well against these green dragons, but they can't actually reach us yet. So I think for now, meet your share on these 3 is probably fine. Then let's wait. Goes for blind on those, that's absolutely fine, that's not our power stack at all. Okay, so if we move these Minotaurs in here, we will be attacked, so I don't think we do that. Let's move a little bit closer. Then free to move with all of these, so let's go for... We'll wipe out the Pegasi. Then we can go for the next move, but I think we go for the Implosion first. So we kill those off. Go for these. He goes for the Ice Bolt and flees. Okay, that's fine. Basic Leadership is kind of interesting, but I think Expert Mysticism is just the nicer choice. Okay, can we get Jedi some more units? So the problem is, in this town we have no Dragon Cliffs at all, let alone Gold Dragons. Dima is going to go back up in this direction. Was that an enemy? No, it's a shipyard. Okay. So Mephala will explore some of this. So there's actually another way underground. Should we check that out? I feel like we should. Yeah, let's see where this goes. Then Gunnar can reach this turn. They have unfortunately recruited some black dragons, but let's go for it. So we don't have resurrection, so I think spreading out into multiple stacks is perfectly fine. Okay, so spell options. Would haste make us fast enough? So 13 speed, we need at least 16. So plus 3 speed, because we are already moving with the initiative, that's not going to help us. Lightning Bolt does 160 points of damage. We can also go for Fireball, perhaps. Not a spell I'd normally go for, but I do want these stacks wiped out as quickly as possible. Okay, forced to go in. Not sure why the black dragons didn't come to attack us. But we kill those off, and we do also get morale. So can we kill these off? Yes, we can. Perfect. So only the one loss. Advanced Earth Magic at last, but we still just have basic wisdom, so this guy still needs a little bit more before he can start resurrecting. Portal of Summoning is kind of interesting, Mage Guild level 4 also potentially interesting. Second Dungeon Town is good to have. This is also quite well built up, which is great. I think we're just going to spend the rest of the turn here. Then we go back to Jedi, so Jedi can continue to go aggressive. He does still have 45 spell points. If we can find guaranteed spell point recovery, that'd be perfect, but if not, gonna be forced to go back. Should we check this out? So maybe we go for the knowledge first, then grab this. And we can get more knowledge on the way back. Yeah, that makes it feel a little bit better. There's also even more knowledge potentially from the School of Magic. We'll try and make it worth our while. Okay, so that's all of our heroes moved. This one can actually go into the town, so I guess we do that. Then we go back to this town, and we go for recruiting Arlak. Dismiss the weaker forces. Okay, I don't think that's going to be enough, but it's not, yeah, definitely not enough. There's not really anything else we can do. So other places we can potentially get a hero out of. So we do have the Inferno Town over here, where we can send Tazar out if we want to. But no, I think we would rather have the option of moving Gunnar next turn. So I don't think we build any further buildings. Possibly the Dragon Cliffs in this town will prove themselves to be pretty useful. So actually I will go towards that. Let's just build that now. Yeah, it's a weird thing about Rampart. It really feels like it's a wood-based town, but once you take the Dragon Cliffs into account, it's really all that counts. Okay, so we are at least producing green dragons. What we want to do is upgrade them to gold dragons, and we can start using them with Armageddon. Okay, gonna end the turn there. So red is still coming towards this town too. So yeah, the Month of the Plague in that town really sucked because it had about 15 titans available. Green has been vanquished, so that was a pretty tough opponent. But we did take out their best hero. That was Darkstorm's big contribution. I really don't think we can win this. We can blind these, but only for one round. Oh, they got Ulgoi Korkoi too. They must have got those through diplomacy because this map was created before Factory got released. I'm gonna shoot these first. Then I'll blind them. Yeah, he's got the ballistics too. Here's for the mass shield. Okay, so this unit is not really able to take on too much. I think we just go and attack these. Then we do get morale, so let's go for these. Want to weaken these since they can recruit more of them at some point. Every Orgoi Korkoi that goes down is never coming back. No other source of those on the map. But yeah, we've got to get someone over here. This could be the kind of thing Malekith could do, but it's not necessarily going to be that easy for him either. Let's see, so he's getting closer. Advanced Earth Magic, that is yet another hero that really needs it. So let's just see. So we do have Resurrection, so that's permanent Resurrection, that's really good to have. This is kind of interesting, but we're not strong enough. So yeah, this path just eventually leads us back towards that town, but it is good to have someone here. Oh, we can actually land all the way over here, which I think we should do. So Jaegar re-entering the fray at last. Dima still goes after purple, I think. We will go across to this, we will take some more knowledge, it's very much needed. See Eovacius there. Is it worth chasing him down? I think probably is. No, we should be able to defend that. If it wasn't Month of the Plague again, it would be that little bit easier. Do we have... We have Ring of Vitality. This is Ring of Life. It's not an easy fight, but this does get us the Elixir of Life, so I think we have to prioritize that. Take the extra morale. Okay, Jedi is going to... Let's just have a look. So we're safe for now. We'll go across to this first. Take the knowledge. Go across to this knowledge as well. Mephala will go to explore this. Okay. So this is an odd location. I'm not sure how we get in. I'm also not sure we can take this fight. So we got the mass slow, but it doesn't work on magic elementals. Pretty much nothing does. We could go for stone skin, we could go for shield. I just don't really think we have that much to gain. Just gonna get back in the ship. Alamar goes for this, and we'll send him to go aggressive. He's still got all of his spell points. Jeremy we don't really need to buff. The main thing we want to do with Jeremy is just go up to this lighthouse. Then Dima is free to re-emerge. Let's go ahead and, I guess, pick up some Scorpicores. They could help us. Do we go for Mage Guild level 4? I don't think it makes too much difference. If we go for Portal Summoning, we could get really lucky. Nope, just the imps, that's fine. Okay, so we go across to this, and we are just going to use our logistics specialty to see as much as possible. We do have the blue hero just there we should look out for. I think I will still go for knowledge. So it's Rion, and we should be able to take him on. It shouldn't be too bad. This guy needs some additional strengthening though, so we'll go for some defense. Okay, and we're free to spend gold if we want to, but I think most of our towns are fine. So upgraded Dragon Cliffs here requires Mage Guild level 3, so I guess we will go towards that gradually, but it's not urgent. Okay, let's end the turn there. So I need to be careful here because, yeah, our tower town is threatened. Looks like they want to go for the stronghold town too. This orange hero could become a problem. But yeah, we've ceded the west side of the map to orange just as we start getting our vengeance on the east against blue. Still, we should be able to take this back. This is a cool little design, this area. Okay, so we can get our spell points back there, then we go to take on Wild Willow, which is currently undefended. The one good thing so far about the Month of the Plague. So I see Ranlu there. I can see Irvacious is trying to avoid me, but I do want to take on these dragons first. I forgot to equip the Armor of the Damned. So do we go for slow? Does that help us? Probably not. We could go for implosion. I think we have enough spell points to justify that. So if we just check, if we go for resurrection, we have taken no losses, so no need to do that. Please defend, and these kill off. So 7,000 experience, basic fire magic is available. I'm just going to go for mysticism though, and we can get the elixir of life next turn, as well as taking on purple. Meanwhile, Jaegar has arrived in this part of the map. Going to go for the extra defense, and we could also potentially, this is something I've thought about a few times, the Forsaken Palace. I think it's a bit too far away for Jaegar. We've got additional Rust Dragon production up there. Unfortunately, we have recruited the best of the Inferno units, but we're still getting Jaegar back into the action by doing this. And obviously the Month of the Plague means not too much else available to recruit. I don't think we pick any of this stuff up. We have picked up some pretty useful spells though. Implosion. Okay, so Jaegar, I think, yeah, he will be able to get onto the sea here. So that seems like the obvious thing to do. Okay, Jaegar is finally relevant again. Jedi goes for this and can still make it back to the town. That's perfect. So actually we get most of our spell points back anyway through Mysticism. I forgot about that. Plus we have Charm of Mana. Okay, well, if we end the turn in the town, we're going to get those spell points back anyway. So didn't really need to do this, but he also could use maybe these dragons. Should he be the one now who goes to defend against stuff like this? So if we look over here, this is Zarfax, who is not too bad. Luckily, Kaya is not too terrible either. Does have the 11 spell power. We do need to pick up some units for sure. So let's get rid of stuff like this. We'll just go for the 7 Titans, I think. Is that the best option? I don't want to mess around with this, I think we play it safe. I can't bring myself to let Scorpicores go, but I think the rest can. These will increase the cost of enemy spells, so I guess we should keep one of them. And then we spread these out. Okay, so that should be safe. Mafala is... I still do want to just explore this. It is what I was going to do originally. Let's go check it out. Okay, then Alamar will go to the south. And we're going to try and go for that additional... Because that is one thing we could do. We could go for this this Inferno town. And Jaegar could come through there instead. Not really too worried about any of this stuff. There's a Pandora's box there, guarded by Azure Dragons. We could go for that. That wouldn't be too bad to do. We do have the Expert Mysticism on this guy too. Okay, Jeremy goes up here. Not sure where that blue hero went, but the way these islands typically look, there will be a second town somewhere to the north. So let's go and chase that down. Okay, Jedi, what do we do with you? So if those phoenixes would join me, that'd be nice. Well, that's not really going to happen. I think maybe we should... Once we're done with Jeremy, perhaps, we should probably try and reclaim the Behemoth Crag plus the Crystal Cavern. Jedi can join the fighting. I think we can defend without his help. So maybe he just follows. Because we can always split those two up. Okay, so nothing else is immediately threatened as far as I'm aware. Going to end the turn there. Red is now pretty much on the defensive. Blue's on the water, but that's fine. They shouldn't be too strong. So the enemies are spreading out, but I think this is still going in our favour. We can see that's a strong one. Yeah, Teal's spreading out, but none of these heroes are that worrisome, really. So, we're going to reclaim Wild Willow, which is currently empty. Mafala goes towards this. Okay, so there's a guard here. It's pretty well defended. I still want to know what this is. Okay, another Temple of the Sea. Well, she's not going to be able to do it. Okay, so Dima is going to grab this. We will, of course, equip it. Is that not everything we need? Yes, it is. So, the Elixir of Life, this will increase the hit points of all our units by 25% and allow them to regenerate 50 per round, which is not going to make too much difference to Crystal Dragons, but it does bring them up to over 1,000 hit points each. 379 hit points on the Titans, 141 on the Naga Queens. Talisman of Mana there too. Does he have the stuff for this? No. Okay. So, next thing is to take that town back. Then we go to Gunnar. He will go north. I don't think he needs those spell points that badly. This should lead us, I guess, to a tower town. I will scout this out. So yeah, Redwood Observatory does reveal there is the town of Bactia to the north. It does have some black dragons in defense, which is a little bit concerning. Wow, I did not expect to find anything there, but additional movement points from the Boots of Speed, so that works out pretty well. I'm not sure if we are strong enough to go for that, really. Then I think we will go to Alamar next. The Azure Dragons really could be done. I think it's doable. Because we do have that implosion. Kills one off at a time. It costs a lot. I'm gonna go for it. Might take some permanent losses here, I should have spread those out differently. Okay, so if we go for Meteor Shower, we can hit 3 stacks. How much does that do? 400, so it is more efficient. Okay, miss a turn through Fear. I think we Meteor Shower again. Small chance of a kill against that stack, but I don't think we do it. We can guarantee a kill on the stack of 2. Not likely against this stack, so I think we go for this for the sake of an additional kill. So we are the Resurrection Specialist, which will help us get some back, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're not able to completely overcome this. As in completely recover the losses. So can we go for... Yes, we can. We can hit all 4 of these. Gotta be done. Let me kill these off. Okay, is it time to start resurrecting? I think perhaps... we're not strong enough to bring this back. 760, so we're so close. If we just had 1 or 2 more spell power, it could be done. That's a real shame. So that is a permanent loss. We do not want to be missing turns. Hope I don't regret this. I could go for the Meteor Shower on all of these by sacrificing myself. So now just 2 Azure Dragons left. So the goal at this point is just to hang on. Bring back as many units as we can for the end of the fight, because we can't blind them. I think if we slow them, it won't make enough difference. So old speed will be halved. Yeah, so they'll still have like 10 speed. Don't think we go for elementals. I think we just try to resurrect as much as possible. How many more do we have? Just 2 more, okay. So we just gotta try to save as many Scorpicores as possible. Ah, wow, that is the last thing we want to happen because this will probably kill. No, it doesn't. Okay, 440 hit points. Wow, okay, they're doing a lot better than I thought. Scratch what I just said. So, Resurrection. Do we just want these, or do we want 16 of our 21 killed Minotaurs? I think the Scorpicores are the correct choice. I'm not sure if this is going to be worth it. It depends what is in the Pandora's box. Perhaps we should actually go for shield first. That'll have to do. So, very heavy losses to the Evil Eyes. Do we want sorcery? I think we probably do on this guy. And then ballistics, if we do go aggressive. Let's see what this is. 60 sharpshooters. Is that a downgrade? I think it probably is, but we'll take this stuff. So 60 sharpshooters, that's, I guess, not too bad. We don't have archery. Fine. I'm not sure that was worth it. We do get some experience for it, I guess. So Jeremy is going to go to this. Then grab this, and we'll just have a quick look at the Fog of War. Jedi starts going through. And Jaegar. Pretty much free to do as he pleases. He has a lot of movement points too. I think I will decide what to do with him next time. In terms of raw recording, this is the longest episode since episode 1, but I'm sure a lot of that will be cut out since it is the fight with Zidar. 200 rounds long. I'm going to take a break. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.